So let's continue with the React prompt, right? To recap, we did zero-shot prompting, few-shot prompting, chain of thought. React is going to be a similar approach to chain of thought. The only difference with React, which is pretty advanced, and I don't think we have a lot of agentic tooling today that can help anyone to like test it out with an easier approach, I should put it. So the closer and more practical approach is something that we already did. So we did take a Gemini function call and used it alongside with the LLM to help it use the function whenever it needed. React and reason and act React approach is going to be a similar one, but we're going to like do something interesting today. So I'm not going to use Gemini today. I'll use Perplexity. I have a pro version, but generally Perplexity will give you a pro search every single day. Like I think you can do up to 5 or 10 pro searches per day, so we should easily be able to do that. The reason for Perplexity is pretty simple. I'll tell you why we'll use Perplexity for this particular example. So React, so reason plus act, the idea is like it combines reasoning with external tool usage for problem solving. Well, yeah, I mean, the function call is exactly the same. The only difference here is like the LLM. I mean, if you see most of the agentic frameworks that will go on today, which can troubleshoot more than like 10 minutes, like they can be in a continuous loop. It takes a lot of tokens. At the stage where we are investing into prompt engineering, I don't think we should take that complicated an approach. The easier and more practical approach is something that we did with the traceroute application, where we provided the tool to the LLM and then like we left the control to the LLM to make it as a function call. It's the functionality of it is the same as long as like the number of tools that we are invoking and the amount of autonomy differs a bit, but the concept is the same, right? But we can use the React reason plus act approach in a different way. I'll show you how. So the application is like generate reasoning and use APIs to retrieve additional data. It's more or less the same. We'll see how. So it's a good example. A network engineer is troubleshooting a slow internet connection for a client, diagnose and resolve the issue of slow internet speed for a client. So that's the task. Now the prompt in itself, so for chain of thought, we used a keyword called step by step. For React, there's nothing like that. I mean, the LLM should be intelligent enough to pick it up, but we'll make it very explicit because I have seen instances where it doesn't react. So what we have to do is like explicitly mention that particular thing. A very bad example is fix slow internet speed. I mean, even if you ask something like this, right? Like it's not a reason and an action approach. It just lets LLM reply to whatever it wants, right? So today we are going to use Perplexity. So what I'm going to do here is like, can you make a table with reason and action approach to troubleshoot a BGP neighbor relationship issue on Juniper routers. Now here is the powerful part. Use Juniper.net as the only search domain. Now that's the power of Perplexity, right? So it will go ahead and do a site search only for Juniper, and it's going to like get us the complete analysis. It combines the power of LLM, it takes care of the tooling and everything, and here it is. It's a very powerful approach when you combine with a pro search like this. So it says like reason for failure and an action approach, AS number mismatch, incorrect router ID, interface missing. So all of this is like pretty valid, right? Now, what's the difference between the normal search and this one? Now, if you remember the trace route approach that we have done yesterday, also for adding a number that we have taken for making a Gemini function call, right? The prompt would be this, the action, right? Now, if you have a function where get the configuration, for example, right? And the get configuration will accept a router IP, and that's about it. So if you say troubleshoot the BGP neighbor relationship problem on some x.y.z.x, right? Or the domain or the host name of the router. So the action part will list that particular string. Now that particular string will be fed to LLM. The LLM will make a function or activate a function which is capable of logging into the router and getting you the configuration, and then it gets like reasoning this out. So next it will see like check hold time and keep alive, right? So if the configuration gives you that, it's going to check for it, and it's going to do it in a very logical way. But for all of this to happen, you need to have those functions which are defined, and LLM can do exactly the listed way of troubleshooting things. So it's going to be pretty powerful, but I would say like the function call approach is more practical for us. So we'll stick to that particular approach. In the next one, we'll do something called meta prompting. We already sort of, like most of us do the meta prompting, but we'll come up with a great example on how we can use meta prompting, and then we'll build it from there. So thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow.